Uh, Hi all, good morning. Last class we are looking about interface and enums. So what we have seen so far, so we have created the class. So Java is a class-based object-oriented programming language. So we create the object with the help of class. So other programming language, we can create the object. So with the help of class, we can create the object, or without creating the class, we can create the object. So ultimately, we have to create the object. So for creating the object, we create the class. So for writing anything in Java programming language, first we have to write the class. So Java is a object-oriented programming language. Apart from primitive data type, we are having class for everything. So we have to write the class. With the help of class, we have to create the object. So we are learning at high level. So visualize the thing because we have to use in the our project. So always we will create the class and we create the object. So you we work in Java related project. So always you will see class over there. So we are having class, we are having object. So for writing the class, we are having source file. So under the source file, we will write our Java code. Our extension will be .java. So under the source file, we have to write our class interface enum. We can write anything, but we have to write under the our source files. So extension will be .java. So uh, other programming language might have some other extension, but in Java we have to save our program .java, and then we have to compile with the help of our compiler. So one intermediate code will be generated. So we can write this file in any operating system anywhere, and we can compile anywhere. So our bytecode will be generated. So all the operating system, window or Unix, Linux, any operating system, we can compile this program and we have to execute. So JVM will be there. So JVM is a one software. It is a part of our JRE, Java Runtime Environment, where our program will be executed. JVM will help us for execution of our program. So a lot of memory management related things it taking care by our JVM. So it is a costly operation, memory creation, memory management. So earlier programming language, our C programming language, C++ programming language, both are having same platform. So memory management related things we have to take care. We have to create the memory and we have to destroy the memory. So but in the Java, it is taken care by JVM. It is a costly operation. A lot of algorithm is going on behind the scene for cleaning the memory, creating the memory. But in the C language, C++ language, we have to create the memory and we have to destroy the memory. So our Java community had given a lot of utility things in context of programming language is done by JVM. So JVM will responsible for execution our program. It will talk our OS and our OS will talk our hardware. So under the hardware, we are having CPU, RAM, hard disk. So data will be processed under the our CPU. Data will be load under the our RAM and our hard disk or currently SSD over there. So data will be stored this hardware unit. So data will be processed, data will be stored under our machine. Our operating system will communicate with our hardware, as we know. So in Java programming language, we have to write our source file. So under the source file, we will write the class, we will write the interface, we will write our abstract class. So abstract class is a category of class. We will write final class. We will write enum. So our class means we have to define our variable and method under the class. So usually at high level we can say it is a our user defined data type. So it will be 100% implemented. So method will be implemented 100%. It is a concrete method. Implemented method we can say concrete method. But under the abstract class, and if we are writing the class, so we can create the object. Creating the object means we have to define some memory, and we have to initialize our memory, whatever we have defined under the class. That means we can create the object. So under our class, we can create the object, but abstract class is a partially implemented. So usually uh, I tell 0 to 100%. It might be no method will be implemented. It might be some method will be implemented, some method is unimplemented, and it might be all the method implemented, but our class is abstract class. So it contained some abstract method, or it cannot contain abstract method, but abstract class purpose is we cannot create the object directly. But we can use the feature of the class with the help of inheritance. Keep your mind, this thing will asked by the interview, because uh, interview always want to listen the purpose. What is the purpose of the every concept? Why community has given abstract class? Why they have given interface? Why final class? So there is some purpose while writing the program. So if we are writing the Java related program, so sometimes we have to give some privileges to the vendor, to the user. So currently we are learning, so we are writing anything and we are using. But at our technology level, like Servlet, JDBC, at framework level, lot of thing given by our different community. Just we have to use. So lot of classes interface they have given, and then we have to use, which is already implemented by our vendors. So that time our this fundamental should be strong. So because every concept is having some meaningful purpose. So abstract class will force you for inheritance. You cannot create the object. Our final class means we cannot perform inheritance over the class. So how you can use a final class? So we have to create the object. So our string class is a one special class given by our Java community. So it is a final class. So final means what? Final means a final. We cannot change anything. So the keyword, our modifier or keyword meaning that final means final. If we put on final in front of class, so we cannot perform inheritance. We cannot change the uh, any method. method definition, I will tell you this thing. So whatever the inside the class, it will be final. We don't have to modify anything. There is a purpose. So final class, we cannot perform inheritance. If you want to use, so you have to create the object. Always we have to create the object. So in Java programming language, we have to write classes, multiple classes, and we have to create the object. And object will communicate to each other. So how object will communicate to each other? With the help of is a relationship. So is a means inheritance with the help of has a relationship. So we have to create the object, a class, two classes over there, and one class object we have to create it in the another class. So we called the has a relationship. So based on the, it is called a has a relationship or association. So object will be communicated. We don't have to write all the syntaxes in the same file like C language. We have to create it separate in the form of the classes, and we have to communicate so that our code will be modular, maintainable, reusable. So object oriented programming promoted modularity, reusability, maintainability, extensibility. This is the feature modern programming language. Why our client using object oriented programming language? Because it is a convenient. Our code will be maintainable for large scale application. So at architecture level, while we will write some application mini projects, so you will get it these things. So first we are trying to learn a fundamental part, programming related fundamental. So class, we have to create the object. Keep your mind, abstract a class. You can't create the object directly, but first you have to perform inheritance. We are forcing for inheritance. So uh, when we have created some class and I don't want to perform object creation. If anybody want to use my class, first they have to be apply inheritance. If any unimplemented there, so first they will implement, then they will use. So I will explain purpose of abstract class in deeply whenever we will learn about serverlet. Very important serverlet technology for creating web application. So in front end class, I already told we can create two type of application. One is our website and another one is a web application. Website means our data will be fixed like Java T.W3 school tutorial related website. Data will be fixed, but in the dynamic website like Flipkart, Amazon, Make My Trip, data will be changed. In same page, data will be changed as per our uh, searching operation, as per our sorting operation, as per our filtering operation. So our data will be changed. So in the serverlet technology, we will create dynamic pages. So we will see what is the meaning of the abstract class. So you will see the why abstract class is given by our Java community. Finally class, if anything we want to fix, for example, our string class over there, it is a final class. Control Shift T, press on your editor. It is a shortcut. You can see any class. So string is a ready-made class over there. So it is created by our Sun microsystem. So it is a information. So we can see we always we are creating the class. So a lot of API is imported inside our class under our package IO related API. So you will see in front of string, we are having final keyword. So the final keyword meaning we cannot modify the behavior of this class. This will be fixed. We cannot change. So string is a final class. So it is already given. But in the project, if you want to do, if want to do our, nobody cannot change the behavior of the class. So nobody can override some method. So we have to create this kind of class. I will explain this thing. So one concept will come immutability, immutable class. So this question you will see under the our interview how you can write immutable class. Immutable means not changeable. So I will explain immutable class when I will explain about string. So this is a miscellaneous topic we can cover anytime. So I will cover. So while explaining the our string class, I will express what is our immutable class. So under the our final class, we have to do something. So nobody cannot change our class behavior, class method, whatever define only one time. It will be only one time over there. We cannot modify. But till now we can modify with the help of operator, with the help of method overloading. So immutable class I will explain later. So we have seen class, we have seen abstract class, we have seen our final class. So I am explaining a purpose. What is the purpose? Syntax you know, but purpose is very important uh, because of some purpose they have given. We will use under our framework, under our technology. Java is a very uh, high level programming language. A lot of thing over there you will learn in your entire life. You will learn Java programming language. Lot of version are coming, lot of thing is coming day by day, day by day. So lifetime you have to be learn, you have to find out what is the new things. But your fundamental should be strong. So our we have seen interface. So interface for first under the interface we are having 100% unimplemented method up to Java 1.7. Java 1.8 Java 1.8 feature some static method and default method over there which is implemented under the interface. But we will see under our Java 8 feature. But our till now you have to understand inside the interface 100% unimplemented method will be there, unimplemented. So under the interface 100% unimplemented, and whatever the variable we have defined, it should be initialized in our interface. But purpose of the interface for giving specification, for defining some rule. So under our programming language, how we define the rule. So just uh, we have to define our method name. So method name should be fixed. It is our rule. So anybody are creating their own class. So first they have to follow our rule. Then they have to implement it, the method name will be defined. Uh, Name we will define. So we have to provide some specification. We can say specification or contract. So we will define, and I want to impose my rule for our class implementation. Our method name should be same. So I told you our government defining some rule for Indian government rule. So all the company will follow our Indian government rule because our rule will be implemented like our as per our Indian government rule. So all car company will follow the rule and they will create a car according to our Indian's rule. So likewise, you will see under the ATM. So under the ATM, all the ATM machine and respective of any bank, but you will see over the screen. So for you have to withdraw the money somewhere saving account, our current account. So thing will be same, just the machine will be different. So they have provided interface. So some our all bank are working under our RBI guideline. So they are following some rule under RBI guideline. So while creating the software, they follow same rule. So under the software, they will follow our same method, same thing. So somewhere rule will be created, and the vendor have to follow the rule. So we create the interface for defining any rule in the our Java programming language. So for providing the specification or contract, we use a interface. It is a meaning of the interface. So we will see under our JDBC, under our servlet, lot of specification over there. So we will be bounded over there. Method name we can't change, whatever the method name already there, just we have to use. So currently we are writing the interface and we are implementing the interface, but our high level, our technology level, our framework level, sometimes method will be given by our vendor, just we have to implement. We can't change the name, we have to implement. So at high level, at our technology level, at our framework level, lot of abstract class interface will be there. So something will be implemented, something is not implemented. So we have to be implemented. So that time we will understand what is the meaning, actual meaning of the interface. So they have specified some interface. We have to follow that rule and we have to create the method, unimplemented method. We cannot change the method name. We have to implement. So interface purpose is provide the specification and contract. Same thing we can do with abstract class. There is a no issue, but abstract class purpose is very different. Abstract class purpose for forcing for inheritance, but interface purpose is for specification or for contract. So we create the specification or contract. So keep your mind, we have to define some rule in Java. So we have to define the interface. So uh, our vendor or anyone, they want to use our interface, they will follow our rule and method name will be same, just they have to be implemented. And enum purpose is for defining the constant. So under the class, if we write any constant, public, static, and constant name we can define under the class, so it will be same as enum, but they have given some special class for defining the constant value, so they have given the enum. So this is the thing what we have learned so far. So just you have to put your mind at high level. This is a concept and where we have to use. So you will see entire your life. This concept will be there. Just you have to write, you have to use, you have to execute class, abstract class, final class, interface, enum. You will see under your source file. So in the project level, you will see this thing under the source file. Mostly you will see classes or interface mostly. So keep your mind, and today we have to see our object oriented programming. So we call OOP. So, so basically is a not a only for Java. Any programming language can follow our OOPS. So we called object-oriented programming. So OOPS is a nothing but some principle. If we are having object, and object is a class based. If we are creating the object, but object is a class based, class will be there and we are creating the object. So our programming language can follow our object oriented principle. So encapsulation, abstraction. So when I have started doing programming or in my college life, when I have listened about this object oriented programming, so we have just memorized in our mind. So we don't feel how we are getting some benefits under the our programming, but after doing some programming, some experience, so after working in some project, so I have found a lot of thing we have achieved because of our object oriented feature. So under the our project, when we write our source code, so multiple files over there, it might be 300, 400,000 file will be there. So large scale application, our modularity will be there, cross cutting concern will be there, and our day by day we are writing the code, so our code are extending, lot of developers are working. So because of oops feature we can achieve lot of things. So our code will be very easy for understanding for anybody, and code will be secure. So we have to achieve all that things. So it comes under the our object oriented programming. So object oriented programming. So they have created programming like that, like our whatever the things in our surrounding. So anything surrounding us, our like our pen, paper, bus, train, anything. So in our life we see, so they have created all that things, they have put on under the our programming. So we achieve all the things whatever we are looking surrounding us, we are getting under the programming. It is called object oriented programming. So this is the some feature. So we, because of this feature, our programming language will be easy. So all the programming language current market situation, they are following object oriented programming for the modularity. So while writing some mini project, you will understand this thing, because this thing you will feel while creating the some project, while working the project, while working the integration project. So you will get it these things. So for in the current market, for a modularity purpose, modularity means separation of concern. So because under the project we are having a lot of functionality at high level, lot of functionality. So you can see this is our Flipkart application. So under the Flipkart application, grocery, mobile, fashion, electronic, travel, lot of thing you can see. So you are understanding all the programming logic will be in same application level. No, they are not following this kind of architecture. They are following microservices architecture. All the modules, you if you are thinking grocery, mobile, all the modules in the same application, they are having different application. Microservices architecture will be there. We are having another site, make my trip. So flight, hotel, homestay, holiday package. So for you are clicking anywhere for flight or for hotel, for holiday package. So behind the scene, different application over there, different application. They are following microservices architecture. So different application will be there for this functionality. So always when we create any large scale application, so we create different module. So flight related module is having different application. Different developer team is working for there. We are looking all the things in same page in our front end technology in same page, but backend side different team will be there. Different team are handling only this flight related things. Different team are handling for hotel related things, and application will be different, but page is same but application will be different. So this is a large scale application. So large scale application, things will be separated. So separate team will be there, code will be separated. So we call the modularity. So larger scale application, we are having lot of functionality. So this is our login. So this is our one functionality. This is a lot of thing inside our application. Different functionality over there. So when we write the source code, when we write our program, because we have to create enterprise application. Ultimately, our goal for working under the enterprise application, because our client are doing business. We are not in our college level. Just we have to write program and we have to print and we have to be happy. We have currently we have to work for our client because we are searching job. We have to do some job. So you have to work for the client. So you will write the code. So our source code will be modular. Lot of developer are working, lot of team will be there, our quality assurance team, DevOps teams. So they are working in the same application with different responsibility. So application will be very huge, lot of module over there. So modularity means based on the functionality we define the modularity under the our source code. So the flight, hotel, home villas, so we have to define the modularity. Things will be separated. So object-oriented programming. If you are choosing object-oriented programming, so our code will be modular. Code will be modular. I am telling a bit high level, but day by day you will be mature whenever I will work over the our technology framework. So you will get it. Ultimately, you have to work in this kind of application. So thing will be modular. Separation of concern, that means things will be separated. Like this is our grocery module, this is our mobile module, this is our fashion module, this is our electronics modules. Those things will be separated. So while writing the coding, we have to like our source code like that. So they will be independent. So we have to follow it after learning oops concept at application level. We should know design pattern. After the after learning core Java or advanced Java, anything you cannot programming in the application level directly. You should know design pattern as well. How you use your program smartly at application level. Your code is reusable, maintainable, and anybody can understand your code. Code will be modular at our large scale application. So you have to follow design pattern. You have to follow solid principle. If you are giving answer of all the questions, so you will be selected. Interview, if you have work any project, so interview won't ask what is the encapsulation, what is ops concept. Always they will ask purpose. They will ask where you have to use this concept, where you have used in your project, like what is the meaning of the interface, where you have used all the object oriented feature, where you have used in your project while writing the coding, because they want to know how you know the subject practically, how you are strong with your fundamentals. So what design pattern you have used in your project. So if you tell I don't know, I haven't used, so they will tell you leave for the day, because without design pattern you cannot create any project. So how, when we are learning our programming, so how we have to use our project smartly. So we should know design pattern, singleton, prototype. So there is some category, structure, behavioral design pattern. So at least 4 5 design pattern we use in any project is common design pattern, like singleton design pattern is a common design pattern. So we use design pattern, we use a solid principle. So as for single responsibility, so as for single responsibility, o for, just a minute. Single responsibility, open close principle, equal substitution principle, interface segregation principle, dependency inversion principle. So it is a short form we call the solid principle. So our application should follow this solid principle. So object creation level or object level, we have to follow design pattern. But at application level, we have to follow solid principle. So solid principle. So this is our flight related things. This is our hotel related things. This is our homestay villa related things. So under the application, things are separated. So our this module having some single responsibility. So it is following our solid principle first rule, single responsibility. This is a hotel related, it is a single responsibility. So we are having solid principle first rule. So we have to follow all the rule at our application level. So open for open close principle. So we will write our source code. So our source code, always we have to create a lot of classes and we will create the object. So under the application level, we are having multiple classes. It might be 400, 500 class. If we are changing any class, and lot of classes are using our class based on relationship, so it will be impacted in other class if we are changing something inside our class. So it is called tightly coupled. If we are changing anything, so application level, lot of things are impacting, so it should not be there. So while writing the application, we have to do coding like that, so it won't impact in other classes, other source code when we are changing anything. So we have to we have to write our programming like that. So if we are changing in our single source file, it won't impacted other source file, other classes, or it might be impacted, but our impacted area should be minimal. Because when you are learning, we are just dealing with one or two classes, but application level, lot of classes over there and lot of build activity over there. So if we are changing anything, so it might have lot of impacted, your application will break. So we have to follow this principle, this design pattern, our fundamental concept. So application level, you have to be strong with your oops concept. These things you have to be strong. Design pattern, you have to be strong. We have to be strong with our solid principle. So this is the thing, oops principle, design pattern and solid principle. So oops is a kind of principle, and this principle is a object level. Oops is a object level principle. When any programming following object, if we are creating the object, so we can achieve these things. 100% we cannot achieve, but we can achieve. So Java is such kind of programming language. They are under the Java, we can achieve all these features. So Java follow this object oriented programming use, so we can achieve all the features. This is our object oriented programming. Java can follow, Java will be follow all the rules, very all the rules. And other programming language might follow all the rules. Some programming language follow only like encapsulation, abstraction, but inheritance, polymorphism, they cannot follow. They are having object. For example, our JavaScript, VB script. So if we are having object, so it doesn't matter, they will follow all the rules. Some programming language will follow all the rules, some programming language might not follow all the rules. So it is a principle. If we are having object, if we are having class based object, so maximum chances is over there we can follow these rules. If we are having class based object, if we are having class and with the help of class we are creating the object, so maximum chances over there we can achieve all the rules. But without class we are having object, so it might follow some rule, it might follow it might not follow some rules. So encapsulation abstraction, it might be they can follow, but inheritance might they can't follow. So keep your mind. So Java is a such kind of programming language where we are having class, with the help of class we can create the object. And Java follow all programming object oriented principle. So Java is a object oriented programming language, and Java is following all the object oriented feature as well. So OOPS related principle will work at your object level. This thing comes after some experience, after working over the project. What what the things am I trying to explain? But just you have to keep your mind, you have to mature day by day. So our oops principle will work at your object level. So in the Java, we will create the object, and first we will define the class and we will create the object. So our object will follow this oops rule. Then we talk about the design pattern. So design pattern, it will work your application level. When we will work over application, so when we will learn a JDBC, servlet, our framework, so while defining the application, we have to follow design pattern. So it will work application level. So our source code will be structured. So in well-mannered format, we will write our source code. For example, when we are building a house, so we are having material, so we can't develop our building. We won't build our building if we are having material, first we will go for some engineer, we will design our building, we will go for some architect, so we are having some planning, so we are having our plot area and we have to do, I want to get two rooms, one hall, one bedroom. So first I will do some planning, after that I will execute. So similarly, when we work over the application, so we know the programming language, but we cannot work directly. First we have to plan, so how many classes will be there, how they will call, how object will work. So we have to plan how our code should be reusable. We don't have to write a repetitive code again and again. So under design pattern, we have to learn these things. So when we create the object, so how we have to use the object smartly. Design pattern is not only for Java programming language. All the programming language, .NET, Python, anything, we have to follow design pattern. It is a common topic for all the programming language because it is a application level. So when we create the application, we have to be take care. So design pattern, we have to be take care our application level. So under the application level, so there is a design pattern category: creational, structure, and creational, structural, behavioral. So this kind of design pattern will be there. So creational means we will create the object, a lot of object under our application. So we have to use object smartly because object is taking memory and we don't have to waste the memory. In application level, we have to save a single bit of memory. In your mobile phone, any application is taking lot of memory, so you will uninstall the particular application. So always when we are creating any software, we have to save the memory. Unnecessary memory we don't have to create it. So unnecessary object can't be created. So we have to analyze all the things while writing the application. So creational means we have to create the object like that smartly. Structure means program should be understandable, anybody can understand. So we will define interface properly, we will define implemented class. So first we will understand the problem, what is the type of our application. Like our application domain is e-commerce, so we are understanding these things will be there. So we will write our interface classes. So it will be structural manner, what will be the entry point of our application, how our method will call. So we can track how our method is propagating. Behavioral related design pattern, so lot of things under the when our object are communicating. So lot of thing under the design pattern we will see. So this thing will work our application level. Our solid principle will work our application level. Application functionality we can say. Application functionality. Keep your mind. This kind of question you will face your interview if you are giving answer smartly. So you have having chances for selecting more chances. Ultimately, you will get the job in any company. But if you are learning like that, so it will take less time, otherwise it will take much time. So while giving the interview, you will face this kind of question, then you will prepare. So don't put much time, prepare from now. So under our solid principle, so our functionality is different. So while writing the coding, our code will be modular. So modular, separation over there, and we have to write our code like that. If we are changing anything under the our future, so it won't impact much. So lot of file, we don't have to change in the lot of file. So we have to follow solid principle when we writing our source code. So a solid principle will work with different modular. So this is a different module. Our hotel, home villa, these are different modules. Under the our grocery, mobile, electronics, different module over there. So it will work our application functionality. So while writing the code, we have to follow this rule. So we have to follow our oops concept at our object level, our source code level. Be- So we have to follow oops rule. Application level, we have to follow solid principle. So these two principle, two type of principle, keep your mind. So solid principle will work your application level, but under the application we will write multiple classes, multiple interfaces, multiple source file under the our application level. So we have to follow oops rule while writing the our source code object, but application functionality level we have to follow solid principle. So how this thing we will achieve, we will understand day by day. So after learning this thing, our application current market situation, our application is following microservices architecture. So you will see this terminology, you are already these things you will see when you if you are searching job. So our job requirement, you will see this terminology. You should know microservices, you should know microservices. So microservices is nothing but a one kind of architecture. So in application level, always we follow some architecture. So it is called a microservices architecture. So microservices architecture work over microservices principle. So this thing comes when we learn about Spring Boot, then we will see. But just keep your mind. We have to see this principle as well. So our oops principle will work at your object level. Solid principle will work at your application functionality level, and design pattern. We have to write code like that. We have to follow the design pattern. So your code will be neat and clean. So our design pattern comes, we call the Gango for design pattern. So a lot of developer have worked a lot of projects, so they have identified the problems. So while writing the code, we are having a lot of problem related to object, related to our memory. So they have given a design pattern. So this is a common problem in all the applications. So they have identified the problem and they have given some resolution. So resolution in the form of design pattern. So we have to follow this pattern while writing the source code. So we won't face this kind of problem while writing the code. So design pattern, this is a kind of our code will be clean. neat and clean code will be there, and our source code and object won't take much memory. It will be reusable, and we have to follow some architecture. So like we are building a house, so we have to follow some rule. First we have to architect, we have to do some planning, then we have to work. So likewise, when we are working over the application, first we have to be plan, and accordingly we have to develop the application level. So this is our principle. This is a design pattern. So principle we have to follow, but we have to write source code practically. So we have to follow design pattern. So one microservices principle over there. So micro services principle will work application level, but your application should be very large scale. Very large scale application level, it will work microservices architecture. Very large scale uh, application level, where we are supposing like our application should be a scalable. So microservices principle will work very large scale application, very large scale. So this application is a very large scale application. Make my trip, Flipkart, IRCTC, because a lot of user are hitting this application in single day. So in real time project, when we are creating any application, so we are having some functional requirement, we are having some non-functional requirement. So functional requirement means what is the functionality of the application? It comes under our functional requirement. So usually when I explain about real-time project, or I take the classes of real-time project, so I explain all the things, because how we work under the industry. So we have to see these things, but it takes a lot of time. So it is not part of our syllabus. So we are having a functional requirement and non-functional requirement. So functional requirement means our application, what our client want, our client business, our client we can say idea. So we are having some idea, and we are creating the our application. Swiggy, Zomato, so like Teen Patti game. So they have started their business, so they are having some idea, but it comes under the our functional requirement. Whatever our idea, accordingly we are writing the our code. But when our code will be, our application is using by the user, and our application day by day user are incrementing, our application is going very famous. So user will be extending day by day. So lot of user are onboarding, they are using our application. So our application is very famous. So lot of over the server, lot of requests are coming over the single day. So at our architecture level, we have to be analyzed. So when our application will be started, so it might be 100 user, 1,000 user will onboarding will be used in single day. In how many user are using our application in our in month, in year. So accordingly we have to plan our resources, our hardware, our deployment, our server. Accordingly we have to be plan, like in single servers in single server capacity only 1,000 requests. So at same time they can handle only 1,000 requests. So but sometimes 2,000 request is coming, 10,000 request is coming. For example, in our college result time, we want to see the result. So all the students are hitting our university related server at same time. So our you want to get response directly. It will take some time. You have to be wait because your university server is not prepare like that. They can it can handle more than 1,000 requests or 2,000 requests at same time. So it comes under our non-functional requirement. So at a large scale application where a lot of requests are coming in single day. So in Flipkart or in Amazon, Make My Trip, IRCTC. So in Flipkart level, we are having a big billion day. So where we will get a lot of offer, lot of things under festival time. So lot of request they are getting at festival time because they are offering big billion day. So it comes under our non-functional requirement. So just creating the application after taking the requirement of the client. So you are just creating the functionality, but your application should sustain day by day. User will be incrementing. You use a lot of user will be there. Some day will be there like big billion day. In single time you will face a lot of hit in your server, lot of request over your server will crash. For example, if you are looking Indian Pakistan match, so that time our Hotstar will be using by the crores of user at same times. So single server can't handle. So at very large scale application, we have to follow microservices principle and current market situation. Spring Boot, Spring Framework, microservices architecture is going on. So for achieving microservices architecture, we have to follow microservices principle. So your solid principle will work in our application level, but our it is a module of one application, but microservices principle will work a very huge scalable application. So where lot of requests are coming, and sometimes we can see lot of request, millions of request you we will get at our application level at same time. So we have to be planning like that. So when we work over some project, our client project, so it comes under our non-functional requirement where our application will sustain. So this is a part of the our planning at architecture level. These things will be analyzing. So just writing the code and deploy over the server, it is not enough. We have to analyze everything. What is the scope of our application? Like I am creating one application and my target audience is only student. So like our tutorial related website. So only student will use. So I will expect 100 request will come in single day, or at a time 100 request will come. So I will plan my hardware resources like that. But same application is creating by some our client, and client is our Ambani. So application will be used by million of user at single time at per hour, or at same time it might be 1,000, 10,000 lakhs of request in the application level. So our hardware we have to prepare like that. Our hardware should be scalable. So at application level we use load balancer. So I will talk later. So these things we have to be follow at our application level. So we will see these things in future. Solid principle, design principle, microservices principle. But today we have to see OOPS principle, and OOPS principle will work over our source code level, our object level. So we have to achieve this OOPS principle under our programming language. So OOPS principle will work your object level. So in the application, in the big application, so our application will be modular. So we will work over some module. Under the single module we are having lot of classes. Under the classes we will create the object with the help of classes. So while writing the class, while creating the object, so our object should follow this rule. So our code will be modular at our coding level. Our code will be modular, extensionable, reusable, understandable. Code will be very easy, and if any issue comes, so we can identify. We don't have to push much effort. So we start our object oriented programming. So first our topic is our encapsulation. First topic is our encapsulation. So what encapsulation say? So encapsulation say, so binding of our variables and method, we called encapsulation. So binding of variable and method. So we write the class, under the class we create the variable, we create the method. Good. We can access the variable with the help of reference variable. We can call the method with the help of reference variable. This is also good. But encapsulation says your variable and method should be bind. You cannot, you can, but you should not access variable directly. Always at class level, you should access the variable with the help of some method. So you have to create your class like that. You have to create your class like that. So you can't create any variable directly. You should not create a variable directly. Actually we can access, we can creating variable we can access directly with the help of reference variable. But oops principles say always your method and your variable in binded should binded. So you should not access variable directly. Always you have to access your variable with the help of method. So why we have to achieve encapsulation? Why this concept is there? Because if we are having encapsulation, so we can control over our data. We can control over data. So if we are achieving the encapsulation, so I just write example and I try to explain. I have created one class is a employee class. So under the our employee class, we are having few attributes like our employee number. Our programming will be some advanced programming. So what we have learned so far, it is just for syntax, but from today we are having advanced programming. So understand the concept because at our application level, we should know these things. So whatever syntax we have learned, we have to use how we have to create our object oriented programming. So this is our employee class. We can create the class object and we can access this particularly variable. And we are having one method like display method. So what is the thing? So encapsulation says if we are having the class and we are having some variable, so we can create the object and we can access this variable. There is no issue. But encapsulation says your data should not be accessed directly. Always your variable or data, anybody want to access this kind of data, so they have to access this data with the help of some method. We don't have to access directly. So anybody want to use this class, so particularly they have to access this particularly variable with the help of some method. Our variable and our method should binded. It should be binded. So then our class will be our encapsulated class. Otherwise, this is a class, but it is not following our oops principle. So we have to do something with our class so that it will follow our oops principle encapsulation. So we can see. So what will we do? I will create my class as a our variable as a private. So private means nobody can't access my class, my variable directly. So outside the class, nobody can't access this variable directly because we have defined our variable is a private. So how anybody will use our class, this particularly class object, class variable, so they can use with the help of method. So we have to create some method. So generate getter and setter method we call. So encapsulation says you have to be control your data. You have to be control your data. So your method and your variable should be binded. Nobody should not access your variable directly. Always you have to define your accessibility with the help of some method. So we have created method. It is a getter setter method. So under the IDE, you can just create your getter setter method. Very important concept. You see your project a lot of classes over there which are having some getter and setter. So under the source, you can generate getter and setter or you have to write manually. So getter method for getting the data and setter method for setting the our data. So you cannot access this data directly. Encapsulation says so in your programming level, if you are creating the data, you are defining some data. So you have to design your class like that. Your data member should be private, and this particularly data, this particularly variable is accessible by our method. So just I will put some data and I will access the data. So we are having our test class. So if you try to access data directly, so you can't access, you can't see under the our variable. There is no employee number because our data is private. So how we can put our value in the our variable? So we have defined some getter setter method. So under the set method, we can define our variable, our variable data. So this is our reference variable, set employee number, set employee name, and set some salary, 4,000, 5,000 we can put. So we are providing the data which will be stored under the our object, employee object, but we are providing data with the help of setter method. So same thing we can do with other object. So you are creating some other employee information. So at application level, always you have to write getter setter. It is a mandatory. So in interview, they will ask you how you have achieved encapsulation in your project. So you have to just give single line answer. We have created the class, and we have created our variable, and we our variable is private, and we have created getter setter. So what is the advantage of this particularly encapsulation? So the advantage is that we can control over the data. If anybody is passing some wrong value, or if we are controlling some data, so the while creating the object, we have to prevent our object with a wrong value. So that time we have to follow the encapsulation. So for example, I am adding one value age. So encapsulation basically purpose is for controlling the our data. So I am putting one value age. So I want to achieve our encapsulation. So I have provided my data as a private data. And what we have done, I will create a getter setter. Understand the purpose. You have to tell like that. So we have created a getter and setter method. So whenever I will set, I will set my age in this code. So I will putting some condition. So my age should be greater than 0, and age. So we are putting some value. So nobody can store with our wrong value or a value like which is not exist. If anybody are putting 500, so nobody cannot live for 500 years. So we are controlling our data. We are preventing for putting our wrong value, our object with wrong value. So we can control over the data. So I in exception handling concept, I will create some exception. So nobody cannot create the object until unless they are providing the wrong value. Sorry, right value. So I have put on this particularly information. I implemented our toString method as well. So we can see the state of the object. So state means what is the information inside our object. So we can implemented toString method. So we can see. So this is our employee object. So I will put, I want to see this is my employee one information. So basically toString method is there, but if we don't write, our compiler will write. So this two employee information will be there. You can see. So I will just execute this program. So this is our information. So you can see our age value is 0 because it is a default value. So I will add our age value. So set age, I am putting age is 23. So age value will be there. So 23 and 34 will be there. So, but we have put on some condition. I am putting more than 100. So you will see more than 100 were 101. So you will see age will be 0. They haven't taken this particularly age. So we are passing some value with the help of method and it will be set under the variable. So our encapsulation say we can control the data. So if you are putting some wrong value, if you are putting something, so while setting the our variable some information, so we have to apply some logic. So based on that, our data will, our object will be created. So object will be created with a right value, right object will be created. So unnecessary we are putting something because lot of validation which you have we have to follow. So we are putting some roll number. So we have to be some validation with our age. So we have to see some validation. So currently I just write one thing. I will explain in under our exception handling. So currently I have put on this condition. So this is my condition. If this condition will be there, so our age value will be set. We are controlling, we are controlling our data. Wrong data we cannot put under while creating the object. If this condition is not following, so is want to be executed and default value will be there. But we can prevent for creating the object until unless they are not providing the right value. So what we can do, we can it is a part of our exception handling. I will explain. So I am putting one exception object. So I am creating one exception object. I will prevent for our object creation. If anybody will try to create the object with wrong value, so at runtime it will prevent for creating the object. So you will see what I have done. So I have created one exception. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So what will be happening? Our object won't created. So I have used one exception handling concept. We will see in under our exception topic. So it will something will be there. One message will be there. I have put on my exception message. So wrong age is not allowed. Please provide right age. So what I have done, I have controlled my data until unless right value is not there, our object won't be created. So with the help of encapsulation, so when we have learned initially about our class definition, so we have provided the variable, but after some time I want to control my data. Nobody cannot put wrong data inside our value. So we can apply some validation while creating the object, while setting the our value. So encapsulation says first you have to be your data member and variable should be binded so that we can control over the data. If you are not controlling the data, anybody can add anything. All the things will be allowed. Anybody can access anything anywhere and they will put data. So at our application level, we don't have to do like that. Always we have to control over data with the help of some method so that we can control over the data. So like I have put on some logic while creating the object. So anybody are trying to add some wrong value, so our object won't be created. So it will force you, please add a right age. So I will put some right age, 56 I am putting. So this time our code will be executed and object will be created. If you are not putting right value, so object won't be created. So with the help of method, we can control our data. Nobody cannot put a wrong value. So encapsulation says, encapsulation is a principle, one kind of principle. Always your data and method should be binded so that we can control the data. We cannot pass a wrong value or whatever the our rule. So we cannot put, like we can put one more condition. So I have put on one more condition and anybody are trying to put this particularly condition. So what we can do? So we will get one message object won't be created. So we can control the data with the help of encapsulation. So encapsulation is a principle and we have achieved this principle with the help of our private keyword and getter setter method. So how we have bounded our particularly variable with the help of method. So our variable is private and our variable is private and our method is a getter setter method. So we can assign a right value. So you can assign a right value. So you just add the our right value and we can create the object. So we are controlling over the data. So encapsulation says please your data member should be private and you have to access your variable with the help of getter and setter so that you can control the data. Keep your mind. This question is going to ask an interview. So how you have achieved encapsulation in your project? So you have to tell we have created a getter setting and we have done our data member is private. Nobody cannot access directly. Always they have to use getter or setter method. So with the help of setter, we can set the method and with the help of get. So I just want to get employee name. So you will get this employee name information. So you are not getting the information with the help of a reference variable. You are you are having this information with the help of getter method. So with the help of getter method, we can access any data. So just name will be printed. So object level, we have to define our data member should be private, and we have to access our data with the help of getter and setter. So it is all about our encapsulation. So at application level, it is a real-time concept. So at application level, we create Pojo class. We create the Pojo class at our application level. So under the Pojo class, we define only data, only variable and method. So one Pojo class, Pojo means a plain old Java object. We called a plain old Java object is called Pojo class. So under this class, under the Pojo class, so at our application level, at our application, sometimes we create the class just for putting the information only. In the class, we don't expect any business logic. So just information part will be there, like our employee class. So we are having only information part. We are not writing the any business logic, any calculation over there. Just the information part will be there. So we usually we called our Pojo class. So just information will be there, only information. We don't write any method, any business logic over there. We are writing just business, writing just data. We are just defining the data. So we called Pojo class. So under the Pojo class, we mostly our focus will be over the data, like employee detail, student detail, any detail over there. So we write the class just for information. So we called Pojo class. So our normal class, we are having method and variable, but under the our class, we are just interacting with our detail part, our only variable. So our class will be Pojo class. So under the Pojo class, we will be focus on the our just on the our data part. So we call the Pojo class. So you will see lot of classes under the application where we are holding the information. Just the information we will hold. So we called our class is a Pojo class. So majorly class responsibility for having just information. Object is having some information, we called Pojo class. But we are focusing over a business logic. We are forcing our business logic. So we will call a business class where we are writing method. So we will focus over the logic. We are more focusing over the logic part. So our class will be business class, because under the class we are having some method and we are calculating something. We are doing some manipulation over the data. So our class will be as a business class. So you will see some terminology: Pojo class, business class. So ultimately we have to create the class. Under the class we are having member variables, method, constructor, lot of thing under the class. But our focus will be only data part. So we will call the Pojo class. If our focus is method, so we will tell this class is a business class. We are mostly focused on over the our method, our business logic. So encapsulation promote the Pojo classes. So whenever we are having some information, so we have to create the Pojo class. So like our student, our employee, our customer. So we will create the class because just we have to hold the information of the employee. So in this case, we create the Pojo class and we are putting some operation over the our Pojo class object. So we are having some business class. So class will be class. Just our terminology will be changed as per our requirement over the technology, over the layers. Just some responsibility will be changed. So encapsulation will promote our Pojo class. So encapsulation says it you don't have to access your data member directly. Nobody should not access directly. Always they have they should use some with the help of method so that we can control the data. So whenever control the data means nobody cannot create the object directly. First, they are putting some right value before creating the object. Otherwise, our object won't created. So we have done getter setter method and we have controlled the data. We have put on some condition. We have put on some exception handling part. We have provide some exception. So our program will break. So we will see under the exception if we are anything doing wrong under our logic. So our program will terminate. It won't execute. So we have to break our control. So we will see this thing under our exception handling. So we can control the data with the help of encapsulation. So our next concept will be inheritance. So inheritance, what is the purpose of inheritance? If you know, you have seen lot of things about the inheritance, but what is the purpose of inheritance? Only one purpose, reusability. Only one purpose over there, reusability. So under the our source code or object level, something are repeating in the all the classes, all the object. So we don't have to write repeated things in the multiple object, multiple classes. Just write in one class and you have to perform inheritance. So your code will be reusable. We don't have to write multiple times. So all the reusable things we have to write in the single class and we have to apply inheritance. So it is called the reusability. So it concept comes under the inheritance. So in the Java, in the Java, we are having a single inheritance. Multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance. hierarchy level inheritance, or we are having our lot of classes. It might be in our application level. So we are having performing this kind of inheritance. So something will be allow, something will be not allow. So that is our some combination. So first, keep your mind inheritance will perform our homogeneous level. Homogeneous means what? Inheritance will be performing only class to class level or interface to interface level only. So inheritance will be performing class to class level, interface to interface level, and it won't perform interface to class. Interface to class implementation will be there, not inheritance. And vice versa, class to interface, it is not allowed. So under our single inheritance level, we are having one class, we are having another class. So we are performing our inheritance. So this is our A class. This is our B class. So usually we called this is our super class or parent class, top level class. We say super class or parent class, and this we called subclass or child class. This is some terminology. So we called our single inheritance. So this is our single level inheritance. You can see. So there is a, if we are having two class, so this is our single level inheritance, and this is a allow. So we can apply this single level inheritance. So we have to apply extends keyword for applying the inheritance. So class to class we can apply inheritance. So we have to use extends keyword. Interface to interface we can apply inheritance. So we have to use extends keyword. So it is our single inheritance. After we see our multiple inheritance. So under the our multiple inheritance, So we are having two classes and we are trying to inheritance. This is our A class. This is our B class. So we will try to inherit it under the single class. So this syntax will be allow under the our C++, but in the Java is it not possible for class. So a single class cannot perform multiple inheritance. Lot of multiple classes we cannot inherited in one class. Only single class is allow at our class level. So interface level it is allow, but class level it won't allow. So multiple inheritance is not allow in the our Java. It is a multiple inheritance under the C++. It is allowed, but in the Java it is not allowed. In the Java only we can perform inheritance with single class only. So we cannot perform inheritance with multiple class. Keep your mind, we can perform inheritance only single class only. Interface level it is allowed, but interface purpose is different. But class level it is not allowed. So class level allow directly or single level. Then we see our multi-level inheritance. Any concept we are learning and same concept we will use with inheritance. So lot of question will be there. Like we will learn exception handling after the inheritance exception handling concept. So lot of concept will come and we are using method overriding. Then we will see multiple our inheritance level lot of question will be there. So after the inheritance our mind will be jumbled with all the concept. So we will see some tricky question will be asked in the interview. So one is our multiple inheritance, another one is our hierarchy inheritance. So multi-level inheritance, we are having one class, we are having another class, we are having another class. So this class is having this particularly class. This is a other class. So it is called multi-level. So our B class perform inheritance A class. C class is performing inheritance B class. So it is allow. So at our class level, we are extending only single class. At our C class, we are having B class. So it is allow. So multi-level inheritance is allow. So there is no issue. In our hierarchy level inheritance, so we are having single class and single class will be extended by multiple classes. So one object class is there which is a directly indirectly inherited in all the classes. So it is also allow because it will work at our single inheritance. So only one class will be performing single level inheritance. So this syntax is also allow. So if our class like that, so it is also allow. It is our hierarchy level inheritance. So this is our hierarchy level inheritance. Then we are having a multi-path and so multi-path inheritance will work like that. So this is our A class. This is our so it will be our multi-path inheritance. So for this level, it is our hierarchy, and this level, it is a multiple inheritance. So you will see. So actually, it won't be allowed. So up to the this level, up to our this level, up to our this level, you can see hierarchy level, and up to our this level, it is our multiple inheritance. So it is a combination of all our hierarchy and multiple. So one thing is allow, one thing is not allow. So hierarchy is allow, but multiple is not allow. So under the multiple multipath inheritance, combination of multiple and hierarchy. So ultimately it won't be allow, because something will be allow, something is not allow. So this is also we called multipath inheritance. So where we are extending one class directly. So in this case, it will be allow, but our class is extending multiple classes, so it won't be allow. And another one is our hybrid. So under the hybrid, some classes, hybrid means we are having single inheritance, we are having our multiple inheritance. So this is our hybrid. It also won't be allowed because under the D we are inheriting two classes. So only single class we can inherited it. So we have to apply inheritance only single class level only. So this will be right. So we can apply this syntax. We can apply. So this is the right. This is the right. We can use. So this we can use. This we can use. So this is the directly our one class extended only one class. One where you will see one class is extending multiple classes. So it won't be allowed. Only one class can extend only one class. It will be allowable. Other things is not allowable. So it is our about our inheritance. So inheritance will work your class to class level. It could be simple class or abstract class or interface to interface level. But interface to class, we are having implementation and class to interface is not allowed. So this thing will work. So what keyword we have to use? Extend keyword we have to use. Extend keyword. So at inheritance level, we have to use extends keyword. So we are having one class A, we are having another class is a B. We are having another class is C. So you can apply. So this is our class A. So under the B, if you will try to access this class, so apply inheritance. So just put this extends keyword and A. So there is no issue. So it is our single level inheritance. So there is a no issue. When we see multi-level inheritance, so we can apply, we have to extend this B class under our C class. So there will be no issue. Extend B class. So because we are extending only single class, so there is no issue. But if you try to access multiple class in the single class, so we are extending A and we are extending C. So we will get the error. Multiple classes is not allowed. Only we can perform extend only single class only. So it is our inheritance. So if you are applying all the syntaxes, so this thing will be allowed, this thing will be allowed, this thing will be allowed. Create one more class D. So under the D, we are extending A. Under the B, we are extending the A. Under the D, we are extending our A. So it will be allow. So keep your mind, just we can write only single class for the inheritance. If you try to write a multiple class at any level, so it won't be allowed. In C++ it was allowed, but in Java it is not allowed. So we can apply only single class at any kind of inheritance level. So is it our about the our inheritance? If we are having a abstract class, so class and class, so type will be homogeneous, so our extend keyword will work, so we can use, there is no issue, abstract class. So abstract class we can perform inheritance, obviously abstract class force for the inheritance, so we are having abstract class. So same thing we can apply with interface, so we can create some interface. So I have created one interface name is I1. I am creating another one interface is I2. So under I2 you can perform inheritance. So it is a homogeneous. So interface to interface homogeneous means interface to interface it will be allow. So it will be allow under our I3 we can extend I2, no issue. But under our interface, if we are trying to get multi-level things at our interface level, so I am trying to I1, I am trying to I2, so it will be allow interface level. Interface level no issue, but class level it is not allowed. This is a multiple inheritance related things, because class purpose is very different. Class, with the help of class we can create the object. So class purpose is very different and interface purpose is very different. Interface purpose for creating the specification, unimplemented method is there under the interface. So we don't have any ambiguity if we are using the interface. I will explain what is the ambiguity. Ambiguity means what? If we are defining one method under the class and we are defining other method, same method in other class, and we are trying to achieve multiple inheritance. So we are having ambiguity because two different definition will be there. So we are extending two classes with a different definition. So we are having ambiguity. But at interface level, all the method is undefined. There is no definition. It is a blank. So there is no ambiguity over there. So the syntax will be allowed at interface level. because interface level, our definition or purpose is different as compare class. Under the class we define our method, we create the object, but interface level we don't define the class, we don't create the object, just we are providing some unimplemented method, we are providing some specification, we are providing some rule, so there is no ambiguity.